Newsflash, clothes are a big ass deal. Why are you calling 15 times over a pair of shoes? If you wanted the shoes here, just drop them off and leave.
I'm asking you to please make sure they pack some extra clothes. Please point me to a parenting plan that requires I provide you with clothing. If their home with you is at the address you provided me, why don't you take them there to get their clothes? I've been accused of harassment and stalking by just asking for an address. So yes, I'm mad.
I'm JeniLynn.
And I'm Jen.
And we're in high conflict hell.
hell.
And you might be too. Let's make sure you're in the right place. You're in the right place if every time you buy new clothes for your kids, you just cringe a little bit when they wear them on exchange day.
You're in the right place if clothes become a weapon.
You're in the right place if you're sending your kids back in the same clothes they came in. Whether or not it's your request or their request, you're still doing it.
You're in the right place if your clothes currently don't fit because you're so stressed out.
You're in the right place if you weren't wearing clothes earlier because you're so stressed out.
Just a minute ago because you're hot and bothered.
Can't help it. I'm sweating like a freaking beast with all this cortisol, stress, sweat.
I like it when she's stressed out, apparently.
It is.
Take it off.
Hopefully you're in the right place.
Actually, I hope you're just here for the gossip.
Yeah.
But
if you're not, welcome. So today we're talking about clothes.
Hot topic. We've got some new listeners that I know are just here for the gossip.
Oh, I love it. Hey, stay.
Yeah.
Tell all your friends. And if you could go up and follow us, that would be really helpful. The top right-hand corner, you follow the podcast. And that would help us out as newbies.
Leave a review.
Guys, we're doing this.
We are.
I love it. Thank you for listening.
Yeah. You're in the top 10% of new creators.
Top 10% of new creators. I can't believe it. Seriously, without you guys listening and following, this would not be a thing at all.
Yes.
And I've said this before and I'll say it again. This is such a difference for me because I have felt so alone. And to know that there's a whole community out there. I can't even tell you what it's done for me personally. So
Yeah, me too.
Thank you.
And shout out to my ex-husband, who we call ex-Homer because he's homeless.
For giving us all the content.
For telling all kinds of people to listen to the podcast.
Hey, shout out to my ex-husband also, who we call ex parte because he's also an avid listener from what I gather. Yeah. So kisses. Mm-hmm. This is actually all of us just trying to manifest the fact that we're making a community and a difference. No, we're not. You're here.
Our DMs say otherwise.
Our DMs do say otherwise.
They say otherwise.
Thank you. And hey, if you do need some support, hit us up. We love getting your messages. We try and respond to all the messages. Mm-hmm. It's basically Jen's full-time job at this point is responding to all the messages. Okay, so today we're talking about clothes.
Hot topic.
Newsflash, clothes are a big ass deal when it comes to parenting in divorced homes.
Yeah.
Or not even divorced homes, just split homes. Just homes where the kids go back and forth, even if it's to grandmas or it's to dads or moms. Even if you don't have a home,
could be a problem.
ex-Homer, clothes are still an issue.
Yeah. Okay, you've got a shoe story, a very recent shoe story.
Oh,
I tell the shoe story.
Do. Okay, so my oldest son has not been going to his dad's regularly.
Yeah.
And he's 15. And so I'm just trying to provide whatever support I can to him through this because this has not been easy. And last week, he asked me to pick him up. And I've always told all my kids, I'll pick you up whenever, wherever, no questions asked. He just asked me to pick him up. It wasn't my day. He was going to be down at the ferry dock. We live by the ferries in Seattle. And so I go down there to pick him up. And while I'm parked, Jen, my ex-husband drives past me, stops by my window, throws his arms up in the air and mouths, "What the fuck?" So
this is not new behavior for him either. This intimidating behavior.
No. Equated to a bully stomping at you in the hallway.
Yeah.
Luckily with where I was parked, because for a hot minute I was worried he was going to get out of the car and make a scene.
Yeah.
But where I was parked, he had to drive through. And shortly thereafter, I received a message from my ex-husband, and I'm going to read the message.
The intimidating behavior is interesting, and also while she's looking for this message, he has regularly claimed to his children that he doesn't even have the app that they have to use to communicate on his phone.
Oh,
But-
yeah. He says he doesn't have the app to communicate on his phone.
He
but
does because he's able to immediately send you a message
Yeah.
from his vehicle. Does he have a desktop computer in his car?
He might. He's like a
Like a
CB
police
radio.
officer?
Yeah, exactly.
Excuse me, officer. Over.
Here's what the message said. And it actually wasn't sent right after it was sent at 5:19. So maybe he did go home and log into his computer. So this is what the message says.
Okay.
We were on the way to go get youngest daughter's sneakers when oldest son texts me a picture of the ferry. I changed plans because I thought he was coming over. I drop off the girls and get down to the ferry and see he had texted me 8 minutes before. I saw you saying, God, the way he texts. I saw you saying he was going back to your house. Not cool. He needs to let me know the night before what he's doing. Don't you tell him he should follow the schedule. Just remember, I made him go back to your house last year. I don't know what he's talking about. Just because I make him get off the phone and hold him accountable doesn't mean you should encourage him not to come over. Which, by the way, I do encourage him to go to his dad's. And this is what my ex-husband says. I say that because he claims he can do whatever he wants at your house because you and Steve go to bed early. He tells me I need a girlfriend, so I'll focus on something else besides him. Not false. He does need a girlfriend, so he can focus on anything else besides all of this. So my ex-husband's claim was that he was going to get our youngest daughter sneakers.
Yeah.
And he had to change plans because I thought he was coming over. I drop the girls off and get down to the ferry. So this morning, my youngest daughter is getting ready for school. And she is saying, Mom, I really need new shoes. And I was like, oh, yeah, you definitely do.
Yeah.
I was like, let me take a picture of those and I'll just order a size up. She's like, no, I think I want something different. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, how did it go when you were shoe shopping last week with your dad? She's like, well, Dad never took me shoe shopping. And I was like, no. Didn't last week, weren't you guys out shoe shopping? And you guys had to leave because he needed to go get your brother? She was like, what are you talking about? She was like, no. And on top of it, my ex-husband sent a similar message to my son about how he was out shoe shopping with his sister and that he's being disrespectful to the family by not letting him know plans, which, you know what? My ex-husband has a very valid point that my son needs to be more communicative.
Right.
However, my ex-husband doesn't need to lie
Right.
in order to get that message across.
Yeah.
Because now we're all looking at youngest and we're all looking at each other and thinking to ourselves, why is your dad lying again?
Breaking news.
Liar.
Liars lie.
Wait, what is it?
Lying liars lie.
I will say too, because this shoe issue has been an ordeal since shoes has been a freaking issue in my house since me and my ex-husband split up.
What, are they becoming a weapon?
Yes, I'm not kidding. And now that I'm thinking about it, so back when we first split up, my son came home. I think he was 10. He came home from his dad's and he was like, oh yeah, we went shopping this weekend and I needed new shoes, but Dad says he bought them last time, so now it's your turn. And I was like, what? Number one, I didn't even think that was true.
Right.
But number two, if you're out shopping and a kid needs something, how about just get it? And if you want me to split that cost, send me a note afterwards. You don't even ask my permission.
Right.
Just say to me, hey, things are tight. Our son wanted these expensive pair of Nikes. I would split it. Yeah. Absolutely.
Right. Or, hey, JeniLynn, I got shoes last time. Things are a little tight right now. I felt bad that I couldn't get son these shoes.
He did send me a message being like,
oh, it wasn't nice.
No, it wasn't nice. It was like, this is your turn. And I can remember when I got this message, of course, I called my mom. And I was like, this is bullshit.
Yeah, it is bullshit.
I was like, number one, it's not even true. I know that I've bought him the shoes the last couple times. I was like, so screw it. Guess he's not getting shoes. And my mom was like, actually, Jen, he is getting shoes because you are his mother and you will always do whatever it is you need to do. Your kids will know they can always rely on you.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, Mom. But yes, of course, I went and got him the shoes and stuff. But there was another incident with cross-country shoes. My middle daughter was in cross-country. And so I went out and bought her a good pair of running shoes.
Yep.
And she had cross-country practice on his days, and she would bring them back and forth. And he refused to go out. And cross-country is not a cheap sport here in Seattle. Once again, for the season, it was like $450 per kid.
Yeah.
And plus, I bought her good shoes. And so he refused to split the cost of cross-country. He refused to buy his own pair of shoes. So she didn't have to take the shoes in her backpack on school days. And he was pulling up to my house with shoes. I was like, dude, I will go out and buy her another pair of shoes. If she forgets her shoes,
Right.
I will just go buy her another pair and she can keep those shoes at your house. Do not be pulling up at my house, because he didn't just pull up. He pulled up and he incessantly called my kid. Come out, come out, come out, come out. My kids were scared. They're like, Dad's here. He's calling us. He's telling us to come out. I'm like, ignore him. He can do what he wants. We're not going out there. Like, we're not causing a fight over a pair of shoes.
No, he is.
Every time.
Yeah.
Tries to.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I remember this. Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
Caused anxiety in this kid who was very good at cross country, and she really enjoyed it.
Well, that's what happens. And so he refused to buy the kids soccer shoes for a bunch of seasons. The soccer shoes were going back and forth. I was getting messages about how he did buy a pair of soccer shoes. It's like, why? We're talking about freaking shoes, and we want our kids. I shouldn't say we. I want our kids to play sports and to find it easy and fun. And you know what happened? My daughter didn't want to play soccer anymore last year.
You know, also with your youngest, he always has her late to soccer practice and soccer games, which practice isn't as important, but games, this is a team sport. You have to be on time.
You should be on time.
Shin guards missing, socks missing. I've watched you take off your socks in the middle of the field to make sure she has socks. Her hair is never up, so it's all in her face. So you or I are always putting her hair up in a bun. Same when my kids are coming to soccer. I'm always watching you put my kids up in a
jerseys being forgotten at the other house. And I will message him, hey, daughter doesn't have her jersey here. It's at your house. Could you please show up to the game?
Yeah. And those are the days
Pretty
that he chooses
please.
not to.
No, and then he's late. And the last time, my youngest daughter was running off the field in the middle of the game to go and get her jersey. Yeah. And I was like, what are you doing? You can't run off the field in the middle of the game.
He was calling me.
He was calling her out to go and I'm like, and this is just the most basic of things that then make kids not want to participate, show up, do the things that it is part of the childhood experience for a lot of us. Not everybody, but for a lot of us.
And if you're 9 years old and you have 2 or 3 exchanges a week, you cannot be responsible for 2 shin guards, 2 socks, a jersey, your backpack, your lunchbox, your regular shoes, your socks, your sweatshirt that you need because it's cold, your rain jacket because it rains here. It is too much to put on a child, but they are put in a position where that's something that they have to do.
And I'm sorry, as adults, would you like to be packing your bag every 3 days to go from this house to that? I couldn't. I say this all the time.
Right.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do the kind of bouncing back and forth they do, especially when the adults can't even agree on a pair of shoes.
Right. He lives half a mile away. So if things were healthy and he chose to be kind, these things wouldn't be that big of a deal. Oh, yeah, JeniLynn, no big deal. On my way to work, I'll throw the backpack at the door. On the way to work, let me go ahead and throw those soccer cleats.
I'm sorry, our kids do go someplace every single day for, I don't know, maybe 6+ hours. Well, that's a neutral place where you could drop anything off. It's called school. And instead, you refuse to drop anything off at the neutral location, anything forgotten. Instead, the messages I get are just like so ramped up. And I'm like, my kid forgets something and they need it. And that's what they do know at this point. I will go. Many times I've been in a clothing store at 8:00 at night on a school night, getting something for Twin Day or Spirit Day, or finding an extra pair of shin guards or socks, because that's just what you have to do. And it's funny because listening to even me talk, like someone's going to think, well, you're being confrontational. If you won't let him at your house to drop the shoes off, that's you being confrontational.
He has been a physical danger.
I'm sorry, if you're showing up to drop shoes off and you're incessantly calling someone 15 times to come out and not just dropping them and driving off, who's the issue?
Right.
Everyone ask yourselves that.
Yeah, you can set it just about anywhere.
And I'm just being aggressive towards like the general other opinion of, hey, maybe. And I try to look at myself constantly and being like, I want to take the path of least resistance.
There is no path of least resistance.
That is literally what I feel like a lot, that there is no path of least resistance. I get a path of least
resistance sometimes. On a good day, I do.
Yeah, you do. Okay. The other thing that happens with clothes in my house is my ex-husband, I don't know if he doesn't take them clothes shopping or if just the majority of the clothes come from grandma, come from Mimi.
Yeah.
And I appreciate, once again, the fact that Mimi's out there buying my kids clothes.
Yeah.
But the kids don't like the clothes.
Right.
And so what happens is,
They're not toddlers.
no, you can't just go into Land's End. Mimi loves a Land's End. And like get like long sleeve dresses, and the kids are never gonna wear that.
Well, and they care about how
stuff.
things fit, and they care about things being in style. And while that's not like, that should not be a judgment of somebody's ability as a parent, just send the money.
Well, and I do think that's what has happened.
Money doesn't make it to where it's supposed to.
Exactly.
So
and I'm
we
not
know this.
psychic. I'm not daddy lawyer, but that's what it feels like to me.
Oh, I feel pretty certain.
Is that school supplies, right? She'll like send out school supplies, then I'll get a nasty message about her. She'll send out clothes, and okay, I don't know what you want me to say. The kids don't like it. They're not the right size. They're not going to grow into it.
Yeah. They don't want to go to school looking like Little House on the Prairie. They would like to go to school wearing the clothes that I brought them.
Well, or clothes that they pick out, or clothes that they like.
That's all the clothes that they pick out and like are clothes that they get when they're with you.
Yeah.
But it's weird because I don't know what to expect on any given day. And I didn't think clothes were that big of a deal, even for me, until I have a story about a friend that I'll share.
I want to hear it.
So my friend has this boyfriend who is in a very high conflict situation.
Are they listeners?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, the friend is. Hey. And so she calls me regularly and is like, I just don't get it. It's weird. We go to a sport event and mom shows up and immediately changes the kid into another outfit.
At the event.
And then there's like a weird thing about water bottles too. And this has come up to me from this friend 5 or 6 times, I think. And it's just always like,
water bottles were an issue with me. Yeah. Remember? He didn't want to pay for the water bottle.
Your
as part of this
was too nice.
as part of the school supplies. Okay. Sorry. Keep going.
It's okay. So I keep telling her, I'm like, I don't have this experience, but I know that this is a common issue.
Yeah.
And what you're telling me, yes, at the surface, it does not seem reasonable, but
that the mom is changing the clothes at the field.
Yeah,
there's something else going on there.
Something we're missing.
No, there's something
here.
going on there.
And it does seem high conflict, and it does seem irrational, and it does seem unreasonable, but that doesn't happen for no reason. I can't quite put my finger on it.
Right.
But I know that there is something more to this. I've also heard how this man talks about his ex-wife, and I'm like, man, I don't know.
You seem like the issue. Yeah.
I might be weaponizing clothes at this point too. And so something happens a couple Saturdays ago, and my friend, she calls me and she tells me about it, and I'm like, yeah, this does seem really weird. And the next day I get a text message from my ex-husband, who's currently homeless, that says, please make sure the girls have clothes. I didn't have time to grab their clothes, which is strange because we've never had there's been some new things that have come up with clothes, but we don't talk about it. They just take what they want. They come back with what they want.
And this is not a new divorce. You have been split up for 7 years.
Yep. And divorced for 5.
And at this point, this is not a new situation where you're just trying to get settled and you're just trying to get clothes at the house.
Yeah.
This is 7 years later.
Yeah. And the kids are 10, 10, and 13 girls. And you know how it is. Yeah. If you have a pair of clothing that you really like, you want to have that with you. It's like you have your 5 or 6 pieces that you always want. So I'm like, this is strange. Why is he saying this to me, even though I know that he's lying to me about where he lives? We talked about that in the episode of court abuse, so you'll have to go listen to that one. But it doesn't outline anywhere in our parenting plan anything about clothing. I don't have to provide him clothing. He doesn't have to provide me clothing. We don't have to split the costs over clothing. But we've always just been very generous about this. It has not been a thing until the woman that has been involved in his life started to tell my kids that they couldn't take clothes home.
Who? Ex-fiance?
Ex-fiance.
Okay.
Yeah.
So ex-fiance
has been saying, you can't take the clothes home that we got you while you were with us. And my kids have been sneaking them home because they're clothes that they've liked. So
I'm sure.
A sweatshirt, a pair of Tweety Bird
pants. But
pants.
also, I totally understand too, because like I said, when I buy new clothes for my kids and I see them put them on exchange day, a little part of me dies inside. That was a $60 white fox hoodie that you just got for Christmas.
But my kids are with him 4 days a month.
Right.
So what's the risk? It's not
Right.
like they're like 50-50 and they're going to be sad if they don't have these new Tweety bird pants.
I'm just saying that I
Yeah.
see where you just spent a couple $100s on clothes and now you're going to have to spend a couple. So anyways, go ahead.
Well, but they always come back and forth with clothes, which is where I miss that. I understand like the concept and why you wouldn't want that to happen, but the clothes just come back and forth freely with no problem.
Because for you. Okay, so because for me, even with the way things tend to work in my house with clothes, and I want you to finish your story before I go off on this story.
Go ahead.
Because even during my son's 8th grade year, he was at a private school, and so he had a uniform.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, his dad bought the wrong size of uniforms at the beginning of the year and refused to buy any more uniforms throughout the year.
Right.
And so with the way the schedule fell, all of his clothes ended up at the uniforms that fit ended up at his dad's house. And that's routinely what happens to me over and over. I never have an influx of clothes from his house.
Right.
The only thing that happens is that clothes go out and never come back in. Whatever they wear back is something that they don't, if it's from his house, they don't want to wear. It's usually from my house. I know that they put clothes in their backpack to take their dad's house. And here's the problem. I don't get child support.
Right.
So if there was some sort of acknowledgement that I am financially doing all of the heavy lifting here.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
But when there's no exchange of money and I'm the responsible party and you bought the wrong size of clothes for your son and you're refusing to go and buy what he needs for school and now I don't have it and now I'm spending another $200 to $300 repurchasing all the things.
Totally.
It hits that button that it's like fairness.
Well, and it's not wrong. So if that is something you want to have, but you ex-fiance cannot use my children to send me a message that what is coming from your house cannot be at she told the kids, you cannot take things from here. Yeah. So if you have them 4 days a month, and my kids don't pack sparsely. They go there 4 days a month and they pack a huge suitcase and I'm not taking inventory. I don't know what comes back. And so that's when
and for me, too much too soon. If this has been going on for a year or years,
you're going to be surprised to learn what I learned.
What?
And I can't tell you yet. It's funny. It's going to be good.
Okay. Well, I do. I think too much too soon. Yeah. When kids are first starting to get acquainted with your house and your home and you're buying them things, I don't think that's the time to be like, oh no, that stays here. Oh no, you can't do like you just let them come fluidly back and forth.
I don't even think it was that night. It was, you need to take those pants off before you leave and leave your iPad here. Okay, so let's go back to this clothing story. Is interesting. Okay. So my ex-husband I'm texting him to try to get his new address because everyone knows he's no longer living with ex-fiance. So I, send him a message that's like, I just need the address.
But your parenting plan requires you to pick up the kids from his residential address at the close of his parenting time. Right. And they've threatened you with contempt if you're not following this plan.
Well, it's no longer a threat. It's real.
Oh, I know. I know. And so for them to not be giving you the address is more than just, what does it matter where he lives?
Right.
Well, I'm trying to follow the parenting plan that you've told me I'll be holding contempt over.
Yeah. And you're prohibiting me from doing that on purpose.
And on top of it, where are my kids?
And he's telling me I'm spreading rumors about him. I've ruined his life. I have a message that actually says that I'm ruining his life. I have no idea what I've done to ruin his life. Well, maybe if he would stop cheating on people, he would stop ruining his own life. But I'm not. He's the one taking me to court. He's the one that spent at least $15,000 on a lawyer so far. And I've done nothing.
So you're going back and forth now about the address and where he's at.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so then I get another message from him about 30 minutes later that says, please make sure the girls have clothes. I didn't have time to grab their clothes. So I said, after I'm thinking about this, when this has never been a topic, and had he not said anything, they would have just came with their full suitcase packed like they always do. Yeah. They take so much shit. They take like 9 pairs of clothes, a bunch of pajamas, toys, whatever.
Options.
I don't care. I would never, and I don't think he's trying to like withhold clothing from me. It's not like a distrusting
situation. It hasn't been an issue.
And they do leave stuff behind that they wanted, but it's not a big deal. So we just move on. But I was like, well, I guess this is a topic now. So I said, I'm not responsible for providing you with belongings for your residential time. They have communicated to me that their belongings are in your vehicle as you do not have a house to live in. And I saw this yesterday as you asked me to wait near your car so you could dig through it to find middle kid's iPad. We
So
were at
you
therapy
saw
appointment.
all the clothes in his car.
I saw his car piled full of things that when he opened the hatch of his SUV, stuff fell out.
Where the hell did these clothes go?
Well, I think he probably had to drop those off at another place so he could load his car up with other belongings.
Because most likely he's staying at his mom's.
He is.
And he was taking the kids that weekend to his mom's.
He has a storage unit.
So, why didn't he just take the kids' clothes to his mom's?
Why is he got a lawyer involved when he's not got his life together? I don't know, JeniLynn. You tell me.
I know.
What
It just
makes
doesn't
sense.
make any sense to me.
So he says, their things are not in my car. As I've said, I'm asking you to please make sure they pack some extra clothes, Jen. Said, okay, please point me to the provision in our parenting plan that requires I provide you with clothing, and I'm happy to do so. If their home with you is at the address you provided me, then why don't you take them there to get their clothes? Because at this point, I've been now accused of harassment and stalking by just asking for an address. So I'm mad. So yes, these text messages are blowing up, but I'm being accused of some wild things.
Yeah.
And all I'm doing is asking for your address.
But that's the story, right, of women is that
Right.
that's the only thing that will be highlighted is the fact that you're being difficult.
Right.
You're not providing the clothes.
Right. Well, so he tells me I can't.
They're not
I don't
providing an
have clothes for them.
address.
I don't have clothes for them. And then he tells me, I don't want to talk to you about this. Talk to my lawyer. So I send his lawyer an email that says,
Wait, he wrote that in text message?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to talk to you about the clothes. Talk to my lawyer.
well, he says, I don't want to talk to you. Talk to my lawyer. So I say, okay. So I
Perfect.
send Daddy an email that says, Daddy, your client has informed me that he would not like to communicate outside of you. He has texted me today that he no longer has clothing accessible for our children. This is concerning, and I would like to request that you address this. Please ensure my children are being provided their basic needs at whatever home they are temporarily residing at. Let me know if you would like these text messages. Then I get a text message immediately from ex-Homer that says, this is exactly why I don't want to talk to you. You're wasting my time. Where? You asked me not to talk to you.
Right.
So I went to your lawyer. My money and my attention. Your money? I'm not. How did I waste your money?
Because you sent his lawyer an email after he told you he wasn't going to communicate with you.
he employed a lawyer.
Well,
Asked me to talk to him through there.
I was
That's
gonna say.
your own money you are wasting. And my attention. I didn't come to you. I emailed your lawyer, which requires zero attention from you. That's why you pay him. Your money that I'm apparently wasting. You are deliberately misrepresenting what I said in an attempt to manipulate the situation.
so wait, he didn't say he doesn't have clothes for the kids? He didn't say that?
I don't know what I'm manipulating this time, but apparently I'm really fucking good at it because I'm accused of it on a regular basis.
Right.
And you know what? My kids did take some clothes. They packed whatever they want
course they
because I'm not
did.
out here like, you can't take to your dad's like ex-fiance does.
Yeah.
Right. So it's wild.
Well, and that's the least of it when it comes to clothes. Like, so what happened with your friend?
Well, so
and
after this happened, after this exchange, I had this epiphany. I was like, this address thing turned into a clothing thing. It is not about the clothes. It's not about the pork tips. It's not about any of these things.
so, okay, with your friend
Yeah.
whose bio mom is changing the kid at the field and your friend is dating an ex-husband.
Yeah.
What do you think the underlying issue is?
Well, I don't know, but what I did is I called my friend and I was like, hey, I know that this has been like a really perplexing and it's a really serious issue that you're not sure what keeps happening and it keeps getting inflated to something bigger. But I want to tell you what just happened. And I want to tell you that it's not about the clothes.
It's not about the clothes.
Something happened
Yeah.
attached to the clothing, which it was at some point weaponized
Yeah.
by one of them. And now it has blown into something exponentially larger.
Yeah.
It's like, I totally get it because how you're sitting here telling me, I don't have a new address. I don't have a new address. I don't have a new address. You're stalking me. You're stalking me. You're stalking
Yeah.
me. You're harassing me. You're harassing me. Talk to my lawyer. Talk to my lawyer. Don't talk to my lawyer. You're wasting my money. You're wasting my time. You're wasting my attention. And then
Send the kids with clothes. Actually, no.
so now I'm like, I get it. You need to be
Yeah.
gentle with that situation because he did something to her
Yeah.
to make her feel like this is a necessary and appropriate step
Yeah.
to protect herself from some kind of behavior.
Well,
and she was like, I get it.
And it is tale as old as time, right? That you never know what someone's going through.
Yep.
Unless they put a mic in front of their mouth and tell everybody that they're going through. But you don't.
No.
And it has been my struggle throughout this entire high conflict parenting journey for me is it's not about the Uber. It's not about the shoes. It's constant coercive
It's not
control.
about the soccer cleats. It's not about the jersey. It's not about cross country.
It's constant court abuse. It's constant accusations. It's building a case.
That is all coercive control. So what you're explaining right now is
Yeah.
coercive control.
Yeah.
This is a pattern of behavior that is used to control and manipulate a situation that as one person in a position of domination.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of it.
It's about reactive abuse. It's about poke,
gaslighting.
poke. Yeah. Oh, I got those new clothes. I got those new clothes. I got those new clothes.
I do live there. I do live there. I do live there.
Now you want to make a big deal about these shoes? What's wrong with you? I've gotten those messages. What's wrong with you? I'm like,
why would you give the? Why would you trade out the water bottle?
Why wouldn't you let the kids come out and just get the shoes? No one said the kids couldn't come out and get the shoes. Why are you calling 15 times over a pair of shoes? If you wanted the shoes here, why didn't you just drop them off and leave?
Yeah. Right.
Like, who's doing what here is the major question.
I would argue that a parent that loved their child and didn't want to be engaged in conflict would drop those off in the driveway, send a quick message that says, hey, JeniLynn, dropped off the soccer cleats.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be nice.
No.
Doesn't have to be anything, but you don't need to hover.
Yeah.
You don't need to consistently put yourself in a position where you are posturing.
Yeah. And that's why people end up sending kids back in the same clothes they came in, is because it's not about the clothes. It's about the 15 messages they get. It's about the demands for money. That new shirt cost me $17.99.
The accusations.
You're taking advantage of me. You're the same piece of shit you always were. You're a grifter. You're always using me.
Yeah.
It's the shit
you stole that. It didn't come back. It didn't come back.
You stole it. You're a thief. You're a liar. And we're talking about a kid's shirt.
A white t-shirt that could be anywhere. It could be in the dirty clothes. Could be at either house. Is it that big of a deal?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But it is.
Yeah. No. And you know what's really hard for my kids, actually?
Everything.
Yeah. Well, it is everything. But even over this past weekend, my oldest son had a dance. And it was a winter formal, and he couldn't find his pair of black slacks. And so then he was like, I'm just not going. And I was like, no, come on, you're going. He's like, well, I think they might be at dad's. I was like, get in the car. I was like, go see. I don't want you to not go to a dance because of a pair of pants. So he did. He went to his dad's. He looked for his pants. He couldn't find the pants at his dad's. And he came back in the car and he's like, I can't find anything anywhere ever.
No.
That, as a person, I know how I feel when I can't find my favorite shirt, and I know it's in my closet.
And you live in one house.
Because I have one house. When you can't find your favorite shirt, and you don't know if your favorite shirt is here or there, or maybe you did leave it in your locker, or maybe you did leave it at your dad's, or maybe it is.
And it might start a fight
in the
with
laundry.
your dad.
Exactly. It's not about the shirt. It's not about the pants. It's not about the dance.
And he's 15. So even if you're not out here telling him, I just got a mean message from your dad about these black slacks.
No.
Instead, you have a reaction because you received this message, and he can read body language because they are not stupid. They are teenagers. They are understanding things that are bigger than them. This is my ex-husband, and my oldest daughter's therapist keeps telling him, like, she's old enough. She's putting all these things together now.
Yeah, this is the facade, is that I'm supposed to get a message about a pair of shoes.
And not take a deep breath.
Yep.
Not have your heart race.
And have any kind of physical or emotional reaction that anybody, I've opened
not
something
have a
on my
tear
phone.
well up in your eye.
Exactly. That it's all completely insulated from the children, and none of this is going to affect them.
Yeah.
Like every single thing.
Yep.
Affects the kids.
Right.
It does. And so if you want to take mom to court and you want to file 3 motions over 2 hearings over 2 weeks, and your whole argument is this should not affect the kids, you're wrong.
Right.
It will. It does.
And I have my kids 99% of the time. So for the past 6 months, when I'm getting verbally assaulted at least every other day for the last 6 months.
Yes.
Except for weekends. I get a couple of days off over the weekend from daddy and from my ex-husband.
An attorney, a licensed attorney, an officer of the court is sending you message after message, calling you a stalker and a harasser. And you're not supposed to have a reaction to that.
I'm still supposed to go to work.
Yeah.
I'm still supposed to take my kids to their sporting events.
And not even that, Jen. You're supposed to not even let it show through walking around the house.
I'm not supposed to cry.
Exactly.
I'm supposed to maintain all of my friendships. I'm supposed to cook dinner. I'm supposed to have lunch ready. I'm supposed to make sure my laundry is clean.
Want to call your sister.
Right.
And go in your bed and cry to your sister and say, can you believe they just said this?
And when you're busy, I'm not supposed to come to your house and cry where your kids might hear and then check on my kids and go, what's going on?
Yep. That
it's
all of
fucking
this
bullshit.
And don't get me wrong, we do try to insulate our kids from all of this. And don't get that twisted.
I don't want them to think that their dad is doing any of these things.
Yeah, but it has come up in my house recently where when all of this court stuff was going on and I was like I said, my whole face broke out in hives. How am I supposed to hide that from my kids? Clearly, something is going on.
They're not stupid.
At some point, there's a trust there between you and your kids that you need to maintain. Because your kids are only kids for so long. And hey, newsflash, they grow up.
Yeah.
And they become adults then with adult issues about their childhood.
Yeah.
And if trusting their parent is one of them, that fucks those kids up.
Right. And so this is fun drama gossip. So at the beginning of this episode, we talk about my ex-husband has been telling people about the podcast. And so this is several people, not one or two people that I do not know.
Which, can I just say too, it's ironic that he can go to court, file motions, say all
public record that are on public record.
Say all kinds of things about your mental health and your stability. Yet you put a microphone in front of your mouth and burn her.
Yeah.
She's not allowed to speak like this.
Well, so he's telling all these people, primarily women, that I'm so mean I started a podcast.
Okay.
And several. I am talking like I've received way too many messages that have binge listened
people
to this
messaging
podcast.
You,
and then message me and go, hey, I hope you're okay. You don't know me. Ex-Homer told me to listen to this and I am so sorry. We all know that he is a huge liar. We all know what is going on. And so I had someone tell me, and they said, do not share any of my information. Please don't say who said this, but I know for sure with 100% certainty that he and ex-fiance, wait for it.
What?
They got married privately and were trying to keep it a secret from me and her ex-husband.
Oh my, you guys.
They got married.
We need to issue an official correction.
It's not ex-fiance, it's actually wife.
Wife.
Wait a minute.
We've been calling her ex-fiance this whole time.
No, wait, hold on. It's going to be a long nickname because it's now estranged wife. Because we were right. She, in fact, did kick him out of her house, blocked him on everything, and refuses to speak to him. So now they're married. He doesn't live there.
My God. And what if she has to pay him alimony?
Apparently she makes so much money. That's what he tells everybody.
Yeah, just saying how much money she makes. So what if she has to pay him alimony? You know what? I don't even need a thank you from ex-fiance / wife.
Estranged wife.
Estranged wife. Girl to girl, you're welcome.
Yeah.
The fact that you escaped this bullshit this early on. I have this really good friend here. Her name is Jen. She had 3 kids with this person.
Whoopsie.
And is now in a massive court, horrible.
That you paid for, but I forgive you.
Yeah. I mean, no hard feelings at this point.
No, I actually, I tried to send her a text because my heart breaks for her. Because she found out I got the same story from so many different people.
Yeah.
So many people are writing me to check on me that do not know me. And I feel bad for her because
you feel bad for who?
For estranged wife, previously known as ex-fiance.
Okay.
Because he is charming.
Yeah.
He is got some narcissistic personality traits that allow you to be such a good actor.
He is charismatic.
I don't think that anymore, but he's got so many people believing some of these crazy stories.
And he's not bad looking.
Okay. Just kidding. He's not. Our children are gorgeous. Okay. So I feel really grateful that people have reached out to me and they're not like, you should shut the fuck up. You shouldn't be telling the story. I'm like, this is we know this. We are receiving so many DMs of people that are like, this is my story.
But with that, I do know that people have judgments about talking about kids in this capacity. And what I will say again, and I have said it before, is I tried to do it through the court. I tried to do it the quote unquote right way.
Right.
And I lost. Right. And I lost again. And protecting a story at this point is not as important to me as
a moot point.
Exactly. It didn't work. Mm-hmm. And now kids are suffering everywhere. Right. Women are suffering everywhere. There is an extremely high conflict genre of people out there in these co-parenting situations. And who are we protecting at this point? Because we've had some honest conversations the last month about us doing this. And I share with them, like, people are reaching out in a way that I could have only dreamed.
Right.
Letting us know that this is helping. And you and I, Jen, were talking about this the other day, that I want people to know that they're not alone, because this feels so lonely.
It is so isolating.
This is so isolating.
Yeah.
And I told you this before you really started going through all this.
Yeah.
I had met one person in passing that had been through like this kind of high conflict co-parenting situation. It's not something people talk about. It is embarrassing.
You're supposed to not talk about it too. Because your kids can't find out.
Well, number one, you're supposed to get along with your ex. You know, you're supposed to have a good co-parenting situation. And we live in the Pacific Northwest, where people are very passive. Yes. Everything's fine. Everything's great. And so even if there are people that you're running into going through this, you would never know. Because when someone says, hey, how was your day? You don't talk about how you got, 2 emails that week threatening court action against you.
And that said you're a piece of shit mom.
Yeah. You say, my day was fine. How was yours? And sometimes your day's not fine.
Yeah, it's not.
And when you're in this kind of situation, more often than not, your day's not fine.
It's not
because
fine.
It lives in the background constantly.
Yeah.
It has been the background to my day-to-day life for now going on 8 years. And it's a marathon and it's not a sprint. And I've learned to pace myself. But I still have days where this is the hardest thing I've ever been through.
And you have to sit here while you're still going through things actively on a regular basis and listen to me and support me through it. And it's a heavy mental load, regardless of what it feels like. It feels helpful, but also it's heavy.
Yeah, but at least at this point, I'm helping build your walls. I'm helping build her walls. I'm helping, hopefully, hopefully a community, though.
Yeah.
We can all at least take that story or that situation and learn from it and say, oh, I probably wouldn't have done what Jen did or what JeniLynn did, but now I have some understanding of what stepmom did.
Right.
Or maybe why those clothes are being changed at the field or
why the water bottle becomes a weapon. Why are soccer cleats such a big deal.
Exactly.
And it seems crazy. We've gotten a couple messages that I'll just read like a little excerpt from them. It's genuinely, though, thank you for doing this work. It's helped more than you know. And I'm really grateful for what you're doing, especially knowing how much resistance there is to telling these stories. It matters a lot. We're getting so many.
It's going to make me cry.
I know. It does make me cry. It's just so hard. And it doesn't make me feel good to know that people are in this boat. But you tried to tell me this before I ever had anything high conflict going on. This is everybody. It's all the same story, actually. None of these are unique. And I keep thinking, oh my God, this is, why would daddy be sending me things like this? Why is ex home or doing these kinds of things? And then I find out that actually it's me and thousands of other people that are dealing with this. Accusations of parental alienation. Accusations.
It's the system enabling these sort of things. And I've said it a few times that I hope the judge in your case slaps daddy's hand.
Right.
Because lawyers should not be able to come into court without even a reasonable solution and make these kinds of accusations, put people through this. And if they are, I hope there's some kind of accountability from the bench that you should not be doing this. Yeah, it's a lot. Okay, so what's not the worst thing that happened to you this week, Jen?
That I found out that my ex-husband is married and lying.
Okay, why did that feel? Did that feel like a little stingy?
Well, the part where you don't have a relationship with your oldest child.
Yeah.
And
you're out here getting married and having stepkids.
Creating a relationship with another woman so strong that you're getting married and then so involved in her children's lives, but you cannot do what you need to do to take care of your relationship with your own kid. Because I don't care if he gets married. He can get married 19 times for all I care.
Yeah.
And that will happen. He is going to be a serial marriage connoisseur.
Well, that's the hard thing that I find too, is that people constantly tell me what your ex-husband does should not affect you.
What?
It affects my kids, and anything that affects my kids is going to affect me. I don't know.
You try getting text messages all the time, at least weekly, telling you you're a piece of shit and I'm going to file court action against you and you be okay.
I know.
Okay, JeniLynn, what's not the worst thing that happened to you this week?
I mean, I've had a great week, so nothing.
I called her this morning and I was like, how are you? And she's like, I'm amazing. And I was like, what's wrong? You're scaring me. She was being funny, but she is not okay.
I am okay in the big picture. I am okay. Not the worst thing that's happened to me this week is once again, this pain in my neck is back.
Oh.
Not kidding. I can barely move my head to the left. It's everything you own.
And in the back to the left.
Exactly.
Is that what now estranged wife said?
That is literally putting a kink in my lifestyle, my sleep. I also have a little bit of a cold.
Yeah.
And I haven't had a head cold in years. And that's also being a giant pain, not in my neck. That's already
In your
there.
throat.
Yeah. But my week in hell.
Mm-hmm. What happened this week?
I'm just dealing with a lot. I'm dealing with a lot of personalities, and we live in a very small house. And for the most part, like, we all get along very well, me and my kids and Steve. And it's very fluid usually, but also when it's not fluid, it feels really hard, especially because I feel like I'm the person who's in charge of all these relationships, and I'm not. And I remind
You're
myself
managing
that
all of these personalities,
that I
interactions.
but I do try and limit if I see something going on or something brewing. It was funny because
Brewing. We're so
right?
witchy.
I went out to the car this morning to warm up the car before I took my oldest to school. And I dropped him off at school and I came back in, and my youngest was telling me how my oldest was just screaming under the second I stepped out.
Oh,
you know, and I was like,
hate that.
and she's like, he would never do that when you were sitting here. And I was like, but I can't be in every room all the time.
right.
Everyone just has to
Not
learn.
omnipotent.
Yeah. And honestly, I need some help. I need some services. I need daddy to come on in and
Pile
help.
motion to get me some services.
Yeah, well, and it's always compiled, right? Because then, like, stuff that happens this morning, like even with the shoes, and my youngest, you know, like we were talking about whether or not she went shoe shopping, what the hell. And I think all those things affect the overall mood. And maybe my son snapping at my youngest, not about his backpack, but it's probably not about the pork tips. Exactly. It's just another
We're going to make a throw pillow that says it's not about the pork tips.
Yeah, you know, we're going to give it to mother-in-law. Okay. So that was my week in hell. What was your week in hell, Jen?
Okay, so you guys heard for the first 15 episodes about my breakup, and
we're talking about real shit today.
I'm talking about real shit. This is real
this is
hell.
real shit for me too.
Everyone has a household name is how I talk about it, and I'm sure everybody listening can. There's always a person that you have in the back of your mind as a potential threat to your relationship.
Right.
I think even really healthy relationships have that, and I would call our relationship really healthy. Well,
your broken up relationship?
I now broken. I meant before.
This is the healthiest relationship I've ever been in. We haven't been together in
called
2 months.
3. No, it's 2. Right? No, it's 2.5. So turns out I was not totally wrong about this person, and
This other person in the background.
and she's an attorney. And now I'm just like, do I fucking hate all lawyers but you? Do I hate all lawyers that exist besides JeniLynn? I'm not sure, but I found, you know, women can be really catty, and she has all of her things on social media super locked down. Mm-hmm. And they were out all together watching the Super Bowl.
Your ex-boyfriend and other
this girl
woman
that I'm not supposed to be worried about even now because our relationship is not like over.
Right. No, I know it's not.
And she posted a video publicly of them celebrating the Super Bowl win, and that's how I found out that they were together.
Shit, Jen. So everything on her social media is locked down, and then she chose to make this video public, and your ex-boyfriend was in this video, like they were hanging out.
Yeah, and it was
What the
awful, and it really broke my heart. And I went for a 3-mile walk after that because it was, 10 o'clock at night by the time I got off the phone with him.
Your ex-boyfriend, you called him. What did he say?
Well, he was excited to hear me. He answered the phone, having no idea that I knew. I was like, hey. And I was like,
do you think he would have told you?
Well, he told me that he wasn't going to tell me. And I know the story of how they ended up hanging out together, and it wasn't like planned outing. But at some point, if you know that something that you're doing in a relationship that you would like to repair is going to be that hurtful, you find your way out of that. That is the expectation.
Yeah.
It is a public place. You are allowed to happen upon the same establishment that someone else is at. But the expectation, if you're not lying,
It's
is
too
to leave.
coincidental.
Well,
the
yeah,
fact
right.
that
No,
she
and
would
it's
take
not
a
that.
video and put it up publicly. This is not like we ran into each other at a bar.
So he says, hey. And I was like, you're an attorney? And he was like, I was. Let me explain. And I started crying so hard. I couldn't do anything about it. And I hang up and I'm like, I don't know what to do with my emotions or my body right now. How is my ex Homer doing this to me right now? All of the things that he's doing. He's paying someone to talk to me like I'm the biggest piece of shit in the entire world.
Yeah.
Doesn't want more custody of the kids, but I need services and an evaluation to be a better parent. And then my ex-boyfriend is doing something that he knows would really hurt. And so I just walked. And I'm like, could somebody give me a fucking break? If there's a through line of all of the situations going on in your life, there's something that is really consistent in them. So with me, it's coercive control with men right now. There's this is intentional. This is not an accident. There's a lesson that I'm supposed to learn from this, and it won't stop until I've learned the lesson. That's my idea that the universe has.
Yeah, you know what I think the lesson is?
What?
Men are selfish, men are liars, and they can't be trusted.
The lesson is that lying liars lie.
Well, I think that your experience is not unique, unfortunately.
It's not.
I think that's how, unfortunately, I'm going to say men operate throughout the world.
Yeah.
Is that they can just throw accusations around and they can do what they want. And I do feel like it's gotten worse in the last, at least for my, I don't know if maybe my maturity level has just seen it more or what my personal experience has been. But with what's going on politically in this world.
Oh, God.
It is like
you can shoot women in the face.
Yeah. It's given a free pass to take away women's rights, women's bodily autonomy, that you can go up there and you can just, say whatever you want about her or do whatever you want behind her back in front of her face and just be like, whoops. And I wish I had an answer. I wish there was something I could do to help.
Right. If you can figure out how to get attorneys to stop being mean to me.
Right.
That would be great, because if I could make her not exist in my world right now, and I could make
I'm doing the groundwork, Jen. I'm trying to be as nice to you as possible for all the other attorneys that are being mean to you.
But everything feels heavy right now, and I feel like I'm drowning, and that everybody that loves me wants to help me up, even people that don't know me. But then the people that don't want that right now are so strong and dominating in this position that they are able to hold me down. And that is not okay.
Well, they're not holding you down. You don't need me to tell you this. They're not. Jen, they are not.
This is the first time I put makeup on in 2 weeks. I have not left my couch despite my stalking claims.
Well, they aren't. They aren't. And even though you feel like that in this moment, they're not.
Yeah.
They're not. And what I do think is a hard part about going through all of this, it is a big open wound, and every piece of salt that gets in it burns. And if you didn't have an open wound, you'd be able to flick the salt off of you and move on with your day. But you have a big open wound.
Yeah.
And so when you're going through something like, I told you I didn't leave my house for way too long.
Yeah.
I couldn't have small talk with people on the sidelines.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't hear about how, the dishwasher didn't get emptied by your husband and how pissed you are. Well, you know what my ex-husband's doing to me?
Has nothing to do with the dishes.
And it doesn't matter, because I'm irritated for you too that your husband isn't emptying the dishwasher. Just for me in the place that I'm at. And then what I also did for so long is I'd run into someone somewhere that I hadn't seen, and I'd be word vomiting all over them.
Right. About
this super deep, heavy shit that I should not just be telling random person that I'm running to in the grocery store and I haven't seen in a year and a half. But when someone asks me how I am, and if I feel like they have the least bit of care, and then I walk away, and then I'm beating myself up for oversharing.
Yep. What are they thinking about me?
Yep.
Am I the problem?
Yep. I know.
Am I the one that's doing?
And now I'm giving people fuel to the fire because I'm out here in the grocery store crying to, whoever. It is just a hard situation, and it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. I'm hoping it's a half marathon for you.
That's all I've done.
It's a full marathon for me.
I've only done half marathons.
I am hoping that this all, because the difference too with your ex-husband is he's actually not around. He actually doesn't want to be around like this.
But he tells people he does.
Yes.
But he is lying, because breaking news, lying liars lie.
Yeah. And I think it's like a facade that's you hit at a certain point where you think that you look better to women or to society. I told you, my ex-husband brags like that. I have the kids 50% of the time, blah, blah, blah. This shit I
You
hear,
should
and
be
I'm
bragging
always
that
like,
they want to be with you, but you can't because they don't.
they're not even there half. I mean, sure, on paper, good for you.
Right.
Are you doing the work?
No.
No. Are you doing the emotional labor?
JeniLynn, you took him shoe shopping.
That's
Didn't
what
you
I
know?
mean. It's all a facade. Well, and here's the thing is you can be on paper a 50% parent, but we were talking about this a couple episodes ago.
Yep.
I can't describe how I am as a mom.
Right.
You can't describe how you are as a mom. Even if you're there,
Yeah.
even if quote unquote you are showing up, if you're not present, if you're not reliable, if you're not trustworthy, if you're lying all the time, I firmly believe you are doing more harm than good. You'd be better off being Disneyland dad.
Yeah.
Let the
Which
kids.
works really well for my kids.
I mean, yes. And I do see the difference because my kids, their view of their dad is very different than your kids and their view of their dad. They think your ex-husband walks on water and is taking them
fun.
to Disneyland and to Hawaii, and he doesn't actually do it.
Right.
He just
tells them
promises
these
them
things.
and instead just takes them to Ulta and spends $100 and they're happy.
My God.
I would be happy too.
The amount of
Take me to
vacations
Ulta.
he could have taken them on. So this is funny because I had received interrogatories. Yeah, if you haven't had this experience, you get a long list of questions. And I'm like, what do I say to these? Some of them are really bizarre, but one of them was, please explain your day to day. And JeniLynn was like, literally write, I am a mother. She's like, you can't write, don't write, give them anything. They're looking to poke a hole. If you say, I make breakfast and dinner, then they might come back at you and be like, well, what about lunch? What do the kids do for lunch? Do you just leave them to their own accord? I actually do. So my sister thought this was the funniest thing in the world. She was like, that's so funny because it's true. We're mothers.
Like,
I am a mother.
I mean, how long do you have?
She bought me a tote that says, I am mother.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yes. It's
Mommy?
ridiculous.
Mommy.
Okay. Should we wrap it up? So that's it for clothes and gossip.
Clothes and gossip.
Clothes and gossip. Hey, I love you.
love
You're
you.
doing good. You're not drowning.
In my tears.
You're not. You're not. And if
We
you are,
love
it's
you
in
all.
600. It's in 600 feet. It's in 6 inches of water.
Who's 6 inches? Still, I would like to know.
It's in 6 inches of water, and you can just stand up. Just
Get up.
just have to stand up. We have to wait till your ankles heal, but just stand up.
Almost
okay?
there.
Okay. See you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.
See you over the fence.
Over the fence.
Bye.
Bye.